let's talk about Anthony Richardson, big fella. It's been reported that the Colts gave him permission to seek a trade. Look, you and I, we've seen a lot of Anthony Richardson in college, going back to his days in Florida. Neither of us were fans of Anthony Richardson, the passer. We knew he had talent. We knew he had a big arm. We knew he was a freakish athlete. But as a passer, wasn't there. And then look, in Indianapolis, I think the mistake that the Colts made with him was that they made him starter. They should have just allowed him to sit for a year, learn the offense as much as possible until, God forbid, injury. And look, he's regressed. And I said, if Daniel Jones takes over the job and if he can do just as good, if not even better, because Daniel Jones, before the injury champ, the Colts, they were like 8-2. They were in discussions for coming out of the AFC. They pulled off the Sauce Gardner trade. This was supposed to be a team to come out of the AFC. Unfortunately, they fell apart. Where should Anthony Richardson go? I would like to see him go to the Los Angeles Rams. I would like for him to sit behind Matthew Stafford, learn as much as he can, and Sean McVay. Look at what Sean McVay did for Baker Mayfield before Baker Mayfield went to Tampa. So coaching matters. Even though Shane Steichen, excellent offensive mind, and Indianapolis, they had pieces to work with. My thing is with Anthony Richardson, he doesn't need to start. He doesn't need to play right away. I think the best thing for him to do is sit and learn the offense as much as possible. Be a leader, be a mentor, go from there. The Rams, I would like to see him go. Now, other reports, Minnesota, depending on J.J. McCarthy's injuries. But my thing is, if you have concerns about J.J. McCarthy's injuries, what about Anthony Richardson's? You have concerns. We have concerns about his conditioning. We can't forget the game in which he tapped out. I believe it was the Houston Texans in year 2 in his NFL career.
Absolutely.
And he missed the entire season. So I don't know, but for me, I would like to see him go to Los Angeles. Let him sit, let him learn behind Matthew Stafford, and learn from Sean McVay. That's where I would like to see him go. What says you?
If you can't go to Los Angeles, go right down that road to the Bay, south to E40, and go to San Francisco and sit behind Brock Purdy, Mac Jones, and learn. And learn. Sam Darnold sat down. Look where he at. Mac Jones sat down. Look what he did this year. Kyle Shanahan is a quarterback whisperer. And with your raw ability, your speed, your athleticism, your size, get your conditioning right. Get your leadership right. Develop those qualities. So that way you can, because Brock Purdy, you can rest assured, is going to miss a few games. He's going to miss a few games. And then Mac Jones is going to come in if they don't end up trading him. Right now, I don't think he's available at this moment. That's unfortunate for a lot of teams. But
particularly your Falcons.
Exactly. I was just about to say that. Particularly my Atlanta Falcons. But you know he's going to miss a few games. So sit back, learn. I think the biggest mistake of the Indianapolis Colts was starting him. Like I stated, him and Will Levis, they were the two big-time talked about guys coming out of their respective draft. I was not sold on either of them. And it wasn't because of Anthony Richardson as far as him being a passer. He was just too raw. Not every running quarterback that comes out of college with a lot of athleticism and a rocket arm is Lamar Jackson. And even when you look at Lamar Jackson, he went to an offensive coach. He went to a system where they had a drop back quarterback. He could learn. They had the offensive pieces so that he could succeed. They sat him. They didn't come in right away and say, Lamar Jackson, here's this playbook. Here's our defense. Here's our offense. Go out here and win 3 MVPs. well, 2 MVPs rather, right off the rip. They took their time with him. They developed him. Joe Flacco was in front of him. When it was time for him to go in, he was ready. I think that he should go to San Francisco, or to your point, he should go to Los Angeles. Either one of those two teams, I'm going straight there because I'm looking at Sam Darnold and I'm saying, look what happened with him. I'm looking at Baker Mayfield and I'm saying, look what happened with him. I'm looking at what's going on with Mac Jones and the fact that he has a chance to start after next year when he's no longer under contract with the Bay. Those are the poster boys of what coaching in California can do for you. So if I'm Anthony Richardson, I'm not worried about a trade. No team trades for me. Nah, I'm calling Sean McVay and say, look, I will come in for a song. You can pay me league minimum, 1.5. I don't care. I want to come in and I want to learn. I want to be, and I will be enthusiastic about it. I will be in that study room every single day with Sean McVay, or if he goes to the Bay, Kyle Shanahan. I'll be in there every single day trying to digest and suck up all of this information that I possibly can. Pause. So that's what I would do. Maneuver your way to Los Angeles or maneuver your way to the Bay. And look, who doesn't want to be in Los Angeles? Who doesn't want to be in San Francisco? Both real glamour cities you can have a good time at, but you're not there to have a good time. You're there to work yourself, work your tail off so you can get back into a position in order to be a Lamar Jackson-esque quarterback. Because you have the potential, you have the speed, you have the power. What's lacking is fundamentals, mechanics, accuracy. That's what's lacking at this point. So you need to go out there and get coached up so you can get there. And when you come off of that contract, you go back into free agency, make sure, much like Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, you choose your darn team wisely. Don't go for the place with the most money. Go to the place with the best coaching. But that's the places I would think he would need to go. LA, or with LA to your point, the Bay to my point.
I think LA or the Bay. I heard one guy mentioned, I don't know of his name, he mentioned Anthony Richardson in Kansas City. I don't know about that. I trust Andy Reid.
Yeah.
No doubt about it in my mind. But Patrick Mahomes, we got to wait and see whether if he's going to come back from the ACL injury. He's trying to look to see if he can try to come back by the season opener. I think for Kansas City's sake, they should let him sit for a few games.
Yeah. I think Anthony Richardson would do a good job out there under the tutelage of Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy. I mean, can't underestimate the quarterbacks that Andy Reid has developed: Donovan McNabb, Nick Foles, Michael Vick, Kevin Cobb.
Well, not just that, Champ. I think bringing back EB is a plus because they had Matt Nagy.
Yeah.
And when you look at Eric Bieniemy there, EB is old school. Unfortunately for him, he'll never be a head coach in the NFL level.
Yeah.
And I think you often mention when he was the offensive coordinator for my Washington Commanders, you thought the mistake that he made was too many times he kept relying on throwing the football as much, given the fact that he's a former running backs coach.
Yeah. I believe that he was out here doing too much just to say, I want a head coaching job. I think he should have stayed. Hey, sometimes it's best to stay put. Stand still.
Yeah.
And especially when you go to Washington and you don't have Sam Howell is a serviceable quarterback, but unfortunately for Eric Bieniemy, he was trying to throw it and do way too much. I think that he wasn't running Brian Robinson the correct way that he needed to do. He wasn't using Terry McLaurin in the way that he was supposed to. He was just trying to air it out every single play, trying to win 4 touchdowns every single play. And I think this is where Eric Bieniemy messed up at. But it's good to see him back there. I don't think people are talking about this enough with the Kansas City Chiefs. They're in cap hell right about now, although the salary cap just went up to $300 million. They're in cap hell right about now.
22
So
million.
yeah, so they're gonna have to make. They can't miss in the draft. There's no free agency help. Players are getting older, so they cannot miss in the draft. Plus, this division is very, very loaded with great head coaching. Can't wait to see what Clint Kubiak is going to do. But Harbaugh, Sean Payton, those defenses, those quarterbacks, this is not just the sole division anymore. This is not just your division anymore. You're going to have to fight like hell in order to regain it back. So, and it talks about the GOAT conversation. You have a chance to increase those conversations because the thing is this, and the reason why I say that is Brady never played in the division as competitive as this. The Jets may have been relevant a few times in the course of Brady's career, but it was never. But the AFC East was never a blood and guts division. So if there's ever a chance that Patrick Mahomes will have to say, "I have a better resume, although I have less Super Bowls than Brady," it would probably be now, because you have to worry about Bo Nix, the Broncos, the net defense, Sean Payton. You have to worry about the Chargers, Justin Herbert, that defense, Harbaugh. And it's going to be interesting to see what Clint Kubiak is going to do, because he's already saying, I'm going to implement a two-back system. And his Super Bowl MVP, that being Kenneth Walker III, is a free agent this year.
And it's probably going to go to the Raiders.
Absolutely. And you have Brock Bowers there as well. So it's going to be ground and pound. It's going to be getting ball out to the tight end. It's going to be good defense. It's going to be some of the cornerstones that the zone blocking scheme has. People got to remember, although Clint Kubiak is a hell of an offense coordinator, the cornerstone of his offense is that zone blocking scheme that him, his father, and the great Mike Shanahan had in Denver. That zone blocking system is a dream for any type of running back, because it puts you in position in order to get through holes this big in that zone blocking system. So it's going to be interesting to see what those two backs, especially with Ashton Jeanty. Ashton Jeanty got 1,000 yards this year without any blocking. So you can imagine with the zone blocking scheme.
I think for me, champ, Anthony Richardson should just go to the place that has the right type of structure. And I think Los Angeles could do it. San Francisco, yes, but again, he'll probably be at best QB3.
Yeah.
But I think for me, champ, it goes to show you, just because a quarterback has all the physical gifts and tools doesn't necessarily mean it's going to pan out. There has to be other components that come along with it at that position.
Yes, indeed.